Got an old nasty John Deere and I'm gonna paint it. Not crazy. I'm not ripping everything apart and masking everything and spending like 500 hours so that I can try to get 500 bucks selling it. But I'm gonna pressure wash it. I'm gonna use some primer and then the John Deere colored paint. I picked it up from Home Depot, and we'll get it looking a lot better because this thing looks pretty bad, but it runs great. And when people see it listed there for sale with no paint on the body of it, they're like, gross, that can't run well, but it does. Runs great, cuts great. Let me show you what it looks like. Here's the beauty queen right here. LA105. Does fine. It works fine. I'm not a huge fan of the hydrostatic that you have to control with the hand. I love the foot pedals instead, but so basically you can see all that. It's rusty. Pressure washing will flick most of this stuff up. Be able to, yeah, it's just sitting there. I'll pop that all up. And then on this side, I'll just get it up as high as it kind of wants to go. And then I'm going to use a little sanding tool as well to get, you know, most of that rust type stuff, just to provide a good surface for the new paint. The seat is pretty nasty too. The guy before me, I don't know if he actually used a white tape or if it bleached in the sun or what, but just ripping that off and using a yellow tape would look better. So let's get to it. Now you gotta don your OSHA approved goggles. These are bifocals. I got readers at the bottom. Yeah, anyway. And grab yourself something like this, or you got a big old brush to kind of, I'm gonna scrub at the rest of that paint that's chipping but hasn't completely come off yet. So we'll get most of that off and sand it down on the edges, and then we'll put some paint on there. I just decided it's probably going to be easier just to take the body of it off. So I'm now kind of committed to doing that. All the little pieces that are underneath stuff that you can't quite get all the little green chips out of, paint won't attach really well to that, and then it'll flake up and it'll... So I'm going to pull the deck, not the deck, the body, and we'll see how hard that is. I don't think it's too bad, so I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, the engines on these, the Briggs, these are always like using standard. So I was trying to get a standard on here, and it's a 10 millimeter. So you got 2 bolts for the seat springs, one under there, one under there. You do not need to remove the seat bolts up there because those aren't attached to anything. And I know a lot of people try to go underneath this thing to take this off because the shape of this makes you feel like that's not going to fit. Well, I think you just reef on this. Come on, baby. It's coming. Check it out. It's a straight piece, so I think we don't need to remove any bolts on that. Hopefully this side too. just twist this off. Let's see. There we go. Just another nice smooth, just twisting it off. All right. Instead of taking off the whole body, which if you're gonna take off the whole body, you gotta get under here. You gotta pull stuff out here. There's a bolt here and one further back, and you gotta yank the steering. So I said no, not doing it. So I'm gonna mask everything, but the plastic over here and the plastic over here, these guys, they're just held on with 10mm bolts. And then these guys, these are a Torx. Let's see what it is, a Torx. What does that say? T30, I think. I can't read it. Here's what I'm going to use for the primer. It's a rust protector primer from Krylon. I've used it before on decks and stuff. And I've got some leftover John Deere Green Rust-Oleum after the primer. And if that doesn't work, I do have a newer Krylon one that's supposed to be the same color. So 13 mil to remove the seat. Just these two bolts here. It's going to be a lot easier to just remove it than to mask everything. So that's what I'm doing. All right, so I've masked stuff off. I've sprayed. This stuff really is like, it says it dries in 8 minutes. It's pretty quick. It's doing good. I might touch up a little bit in a sec, but yeah. Wait another 10 or 15 and then I can put the green paint on. Here she is. All pretty. You know, not completely perfect, but very good. If you remember what it looked like previously. You know, just take your time and take however long you want. On this one, I'm not going to be able to sell it for too much, so I'm not going to spend 40 hours painting it, stripping everything, making it perfect. But I scraped off the loose stuff, and I used a good rust preventing primer, 2 coats of that, and then 1 to 2 coats of this depending on the spots if it was covering nicely. So whoever I sell this to will not have any problems with rust on the top of the deck. Now the underneath, there can be some rust. But these things don't last forever anyway. All right, finished her up. Looks pretty good from a distance. The problem is with all the chipped paint, if you don't sand that 100% down or get all those chips off, you can see if you're looking close up. But the whole point is to make this look prettier and to have it protect the paint on the top, or just to have it protect it so it doesn't rust from the top. So anyway, I think it looks a lot better. I don't want to bother with the deck. That needs it too, but that's what we got. You know what I'm saying?